For most of us, growing up and becoming rich doesn't seem a reality. We are taught to get a job, be happy on a salary that barely covers the bills, and then retire in your mid-60s. It's instilled in us from a young age that getting rich, having a successful business, and being able to do what we want isn't realistic. We are taught to believe the wealthy know something we don't, and that they are smarter than us, and they just aren't regular people like you and me. I'm here to tell you this couldn't be further from the truth. A whopping 82% of millionaires and 70% of the world's billionaires are self-made. If you're watching this video, chances are you're like me, seeking financial freedom, having sacrificed sleep, going out with friends, and being misunderstood by your whole family in the pursuit of something greater. Back in 2019, when I started my business, I decided to cold email 10 self-made real estate billionaires from around the world in the hopes one of them would give me the secret sauce to becoming rich. I'm just kidding. I did, however, want to find a mentor in the hopes one of them would give me some wisdom on the do's and don'ts so I could have the best chances for success. I emailed people like Donald Bren, Rick Caruso, Stephen Ross, and Jeff Sutton, but none of them replied. 5 days later, something pretty special happened. I got my first and only reply from a Swedish billionaire named Eric Sellin. Now, if you don't know who Eric Sellin is, he is the founder and CEO of the publicly traded company Fastighets AB Balder. I know I'm pronouncing that a little bit wrong. They own about 3,000 apartments, 4 million square meters of commercial real estate, 60 hotels, and are now developing Sweden's tallest building, as well as being majority shareholders in several banks, healthcare companies, and other publicly traded real estate companies. After a few emails back and forth, I suggested a phone call and gave him my number. Now, I didn't really think I would get a call. After all, I'm just a young 20-year-old kid at the time who cold emailed him asking if he could be my mentor, and he's a freaking billionaire. As I was going to sleep just before midnight, my phone rang. I leapt up out of bed and answered the phone. It was Eric. I was kind of shocked at the beginning. I didn't really know what to say because it was midnight and I was pretty much half asleep. Spoke for about 30 minutes, and here are the 4 lessons he shared with me. Lesson number 1 is enjoy what you do. I think we hear this a whole lot, and it may be a bit cliche, but it's very true. You have to be working on something that you enjoy, otherwise you won't put in the work to make it successful. A lot of people, myself included, when getting started, they have shiny object syndrome, where we jump from one opportunity to another. We try to make a quick buck, but forget to play the long game. It was clear when Eric was talking to me, it wasn't all about the money. He loved finding the deal, negotiating, building it, and constantly working on his goals and dreams. Money was just the byproduct of all of that. Doing what you love gives you purpose, and I feel like if we don't have it, then we're just lost. The other thing is, if you're enjoying what you do, then you'll have the competitive edge over someone that is just chasing the money, the cars, or something else. Sooner or later, with enough time, you can become one of the leaders in your industry. Lesson number 2, and this is probably my favorite, was keeping things super simple. This one for me was a real turning point because I see this all the time now. People getting fancy with logos, color schemes, fancy websites, spending so much time and effort on things that have little bearing on what it takes to be successful. Yes, those things are important, but I truly believe before you spend a lot of money building a product or service, you need to test it with a small group of people. Every single offer I have run with my business, I haven't used a website, I didn't spend money on design. All I did was create an offer that stands out from my competitors, make it extremely hard for potential clients to say no, get appointments in my diary, and close it over the phone. It's super simple. Obviously, there are a lot of smaller things that go into it, such as remarketing, content creation, but essentially what you need to focus on is how many appointments you can generate and how many of those can you close. Those are the 2 things that you need to focus on immediately to really propel your business, and that's exactly what I did. By streamlining your business and focusing on acquiring clients and delivering the service, it becomes black and white and you no longer need to feel overwhelmed. I think when Eric told me this, it completely shifted my perspective on things. I was trying for so long to overcomplicate things that I really didn't need to, and focusing on irrelevant tasks to just keep busy. Number 3 is learn the art of sales. I've spoken about this in one of my previous videos, but in business, you really need to learn how to negotiate. Eric told me when he was 25 years old, he convinced a bank to lend him $2 million for his first development. Now, things have changed since then, and he admitted so, that it is actually harder to get a loan now. Without the ability to negotiate and sell himself, he wouldn't have been able to get that loan, which catapulted his business to where it is today. Number 4 is don't sleepwalk through life. Too many people are sleepwalking each day by doing the same thing over and over again without even realizing it. If you want more out of life and you feel like you have more to give, then you have to do something about it. This one line really stuck with me. Walk around your local area or city and you'll soon find people are just doing the same thing day in and day out and complaining about their life. It's almost like they've been programmed and are in a simulation. If you're on this channel, then you're someone like me who wants more out of life and is pursuing freedom. But what does that actually mean? I think people have different definitions, but for me, it's the ability to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. You have to decide what you want out of life. What drives you? What gives you purpose? I believe majority of people go their whole lives without finding the answer to this question. I think Annie Diller summed it up best. How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. Think about how it makes you feel when you get out of bed. Excited to conquer the day? Terrified? Tired? How about on Sunday night? Are you excited for Monday? The other thing I took away from speaking with Eric was although he'd built a company worth billions and is one of the world's richest people, he was an incredibly humble guy, and it just felt like you were just speaking with an ordinary person. Before seeing any success, Eric lost everything and went bankrupt twice. Most people would have given up, but no matter how hard things get, you have to remember why you're doing this. As a little side note, don't be afraid to reach out to someone you look up to. I've found that incredibly successful self-made individuals actually enjoy speaking with people and helping others succeed because they've been exactly where you are. I would encourage you to send that DM or email to that person you admire and look up to, because who knows what could actually come out of it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.